This is a solved paper of +1 chemistry questions of 2019. Question number 1. The lowest hypothetical temperature at which gases are supposed to occupy zero volume is called absolute zero. Question number 2. Which among the following is a molecular hydride? Among all these molecular hydride, ammonia NH3 is the molecular hydride. Question number 3. Give the IUPAC name of this compound. It's 3-ethyl 1,1-dimethyl cyclohexane. Question number 4. Predict the product obtained by the reaction of lithium with oxygen. When lithium reacts with oxygen, it will form lithium monoxide. Question number 5. According to the first law of thermodynamics, for an isolated system, the change in internal energy will be 0. Question number 6. The minimum value of the product of uncertainty in position and momentum of a moving microscopic particle is equal to h by 4 pi. That is called Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Question number 7. A round of 0.0525 to a number with two significant figures. So a number after the decimal point is considered as a significant figure. So the answer is 0.05. Question number 8. The Newman projections of eclipsed and staggered conformation of ethane molecule. The picture is drawn. Then question number 9. Calculate the pH of aqueous solution of 1 into 10 raised to minus 2 molar H2SO4. We know that in 1 mole of H2SO4 there are 2 H plus ions. So concentration of H plus ions will be 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. So the equation for calculating pH is equal to minus log concentration of H plus. So when we substitute the value of H plus here, we'll get minus log 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. When we solve this, we'll get the answer 1.699. Question number 10. Among sodium chloride, beryllium chloride and aluminium chloride, which one is more covalent? Justify your answer. So covalent character of beryllium chloride and aluminium chloride is almost the same, but still aluminium chloride is more covalent. When we move left to right in a periodic table, ionization enthalpy increases and hence the non-metallic character increases. And one more reason, the size of Al3 plus ions is very much smaller compared to Be2 plus ion. Therefore, aluminium has less tendency to lose electrons. Question number 11. Differentiate homolytic cleavage and heterolytic cleavage of covalent bonds. Homolytic cleavage means after breaking up the bond, each atom retains its own electron. As a result, it produces a formation of free radical. Heterolytic cleavage, after the breaking of bond, the shared pair of electron will go to one of the atom. So that atom will get a negative charge and the other one will get a positive charge. As a result, we'll get positive and negative ion. Then next question, the answer is the ejection of, there are two, wave nature cannot be explained by the two postulates. The one is ejection of, that is photoelectric effect, and second one is black body radiation. Question number 13 is, which one is, chlorine has most negative electron gain enthalpy? Justify the statement. So we are expecting higher value of fluorine, but chlorine has most higher value for electron gain enthalpy. The reason is that even though fluorine is more electronegative, its size is smaller. So the incoming extra electron will get more repulsion, but chlorine is bigger than fluorine. So the repulsion experienced by the incoming electron is less compared to fluorine. So it has high value of electron gain enthalpy. Question number 40. A chemical equilibrium is given and you have to write the expression for Kc. Kc is equal to the concentration of products raised to the power, which is equal to the stoichiometric coefficient in the balanced chemical reaction. So when we write like that, NO raised to 4, H2 raised to X, 6 divided by NH3 raised to 4 times, O2 raised to 5 times. Then if we multiply these stoichiometric coefficients into any number, the resulting Kc will be that the power of that number. That is, if we multiplied by n, new Kc will be Kc raised to n. So in this case, we are multiplying with 2. So new Kc will be the power Kc raised to 2. Give the chemical equations for the steps involved in the ozonolysis of propene. So during osmosis of propene, we'll get to two products. One is ethanol and methanol. Here the double bond is breaking using 3 oxygen. Then after that, it will break like this and result in the formation of that product. Then draw the structure of diborane. Then write a note on the nature of bonds present in structure is given. We know that in diborane there is a 3-centered 2-electron bond is present. That is why it is highly unstable and highly reactive. What's mean? Question number 17. What is mean by spontaneous process? Give the criterion for spontaneity in terms of delta G for a process taking place at constant temperature. So a spontaneous process means a process which takes place by its own without the help of an external agency. So we know that if a process takes place by its own, its energy always decreases. So the condition for spontaneity is delta G, that is change in free energy, should be negative for all spontaneous process. Then give the relation between molar mass of a gas and its density. How are the density of O2 and CH4 related if they are kept at the same temperature and pressure? Know that molecular mass M is equal to D into RT by P, where M is the molecular mass, D density, R universal gas constant, T temperature and P pressure. So when molecular mass increases, the density also increases. The molecular mass of O2 is 32 and that of CH4 is 16. That is, O2 has twice molecular mass of CH4, so their density will be twice of the density of CH4. Represent the Lewis dot structure of O3 molecule and assign the formal charge. There is a negative charge in the oxygen with 6 electrons, and there is a positive charge in the oxygen with 2 electrons. Then question number 20. Identify the position of aluminium and sulfur in the periodic table with the help of the electronic configuration and predict the formula of the compound formed. So when we write the electronic configuration of aluminium, the valence shell is 3. That means it belongs to the period 3. And the valence electron go to the p orbital, so it is a p block element, and there is totally 3 electron in the valence shell. So for all the p block elements, the group number will be equal to 10 plus their valence electrons. So their group number will be 13. So aluminium located at third period in 13th group. And then sulfur electronic configuration 3s2 3p4. Same shell, that the valence shell is 3. So its period is also 3. And it is also a p block element because the last electron go to p orbital. So its group number, there are 6 electrons in the valence shell. Since it is a p block element, the group number will be equal to 10 plus 6 is equal to 60. Then the formula of the compound, aluminium, we know that the valency, normal valence is 3 and sulfur the valence is 2. So compound will be Al2S3. Question number 21. Give reason for the anomalous behavior of lithium. Then write any 4 points of similarities between lithium and magnesium. We know that due to the small size and high ionization enthalpy, lithium will behave differently from its group members, that is called anomalous behavior. And there are 2 examples given for lithium and magnesium's properties, similar property, that is called diagonal relationship. Question number 22. Explain the hydrolysis of different types of salts with the examples and comment on the pH of the resulting solution in each case. The first salt is salt of strong acid with strong base. We take an example of NaCl. It is formed from hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. So all solutions of NaCl, strong acid, strong base salts will be neutral because it will be completely ionized. So the number of concentration of H plus ions will be equal to concentration of OH minus. If you want to know this in details, I have done a video about this equilibrium. You can refer that. Then salt of strong acid with weak base, that is ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride plus water, that is NH4 plus. NH4 is a weak base. It will not undergo complete dissociation. So HCl is a strong acid. It is completely ionized. The concentration of H plus ions will be more, so it will be acidic. Then third one, salt of weak acid with a strong base, that is Na2CO3. Na2CO3 hydrolysis will get NaOH and H2CO3. NaOH is a strong base. It will be completely ionized. But H2SO3, we don't know how much it will dissociate, but it will be less than 60%. So the concentration of OH minus will be greater and the solution will be basic. The last one, the salt of weak acid with weak base. So both will undergo hydrolysis and produce weak base and weak acid. We don't know, without knowing the value of their Ka and Kb, how much they are undergo dissociation or association, we cannot say whether it is acidic or basic. It is not practically. Question number 24. Alkanes can be converted into cis and trans alkanes by reduction using different reducing agent. So cis can be produced by either by hydrogen by linear catalyst or cadmium and hydrogen or platinum or hydrogen. So many reactions we can use. So they will yield only a particular product. Then sodamide, the second one, will result in the formation of trans. Question number 25. It's a problem based on the stoichiometric calculations. The same problem, how to do the stoichiometric calculation I have done in a different video. If you want, you can just check in my page. A reaction mixture of production of NH3 gas contains 250 gram of N2 gas and 50 gram of H2 gas under suitable conditions. Identify the limiting reactant if any and calculate the mass of NH3 produced. First calculate the number of moles of nitrogen. There are 250 gram. Number of moles we can calculate it by mass in gram divided by molar mass. So we will get 8.93 moles. That of hydrogen we will get 25 moles. Then according to reaction, 1 mole of nitrogen will react with 3 mole of hydrogen gives 2 mole. So 1 mole of nitrogen requires 3 mole. We can check. Here there are 8.93 mole of nitrogen. 1 mole will react with 3. So 8.93 will react with the 8.93 into 3 is equal to 26.79 mole of hydrogen, but that much amount is not available. We have only 25 mole. That means it is deficient. It is a limiting reactant. So then the amount of product is decided by the limiting reactant. That is why it got the name limiting reactant. So 25 moles of hydrogen, that means 1 by 3 moles of nitrogen, that is 8.3 moles of nitrogen will react. The remaining moles will remain unreacted. So we can calculate the number of mole of ammonia. According to the equation, 1 mole of nitrogen give 2 mole of ammonia. So 8.3 mole of nitrogen will give 8.3 into 2 mole of ammonia. That is 16.6 mole. For calculating the mass, multiply it with molecular mass. Ammonia, the molecular mass is 17. So we'll get the answer. Then question number 26, the molecular electronic configuration of N2 and O2. It's written here. Then when we compare the bond order, nitrogen has bond order 3 and O2 has bond order 2. So when bond order increases, stability increases. So nitrogen is more stable compared to O2. Then in the electronic configuration of nitrogen, there is only paired electron. So it is diamagnetic, which will not attracted towards magnet. Then in the case of oxygen, there is unpaired electron, so it is paramagnetic. Question number 27. Why do real gases deviate from ideal behavior? Write the conditions under which gases deviate from ideality. Define boiling point. So there are two assumptions in the kinetic theory are fault and different conditions of temperature and pressure. That is, one of the condition is the force of attraction between the molecule is negligible and the volume occupied by the molecule is negligible compared to the total volume of the gas. These two assumptions will not become real in all conditions of temperature and pressure. Write the condition under which gases deviate from ideal behavior, that is at low temperature and high pressure. Then boil point, the temperature at which real gases obey ideal gas law at an appreciable change of temperature is called boil. Question number 28. The structure of hydrogen peroxide. Then the preparation is given. The two examples are given. One preparation and two reactions are given. Balance the following redox reaction by ion electron method or oxidation Embark method. So that question seems to be wrong because when P4 and OH- combines to produce PH3 and H2PO2, but in question paper it is given only HPO2. Phosphorus cannot form HPO2 because it can show only oxidation state 1, 3 and 5. In this case it will show +2. That question may be wrong. So I corrected the question and tried to balance it. This correct balanced equation is P4 plus 3H2O plus 3OH minus giving 3H2PO2 minus plus PH3. Explain the content numbers. I am not reading that, it's a long one, so you can read and check. Then question number 31, what are silicones? Write the chemical equation showing the steps involved the manufacture of silicon. How can the chain length of silicon can be controlled by their synthesis? So silicones are organosilicon polymers with the repeating unit of R2SiO, where R is any alkyl group. It can be prepared by the hydrolysis of alkyl silicon chlorides at a high temperature of 570 Kelvin with the copper as a catalyst. On hydrolysis, it will form silicon hydroxide. On dehydration will get a silicon. Then chain length of polymer can be controlled by adding trialkyl silicon chloride which block the ends. Question number 32, briefly explain different types of structural isomerism shown by organic compounds with suitable example. So structural isomerism, there are four important types. First one, chain isomerism. That is alkane or any organic compounds with the difference in chain. All the molecular formula will be same, only the difference in chain. That is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Next, position isomers, that differs in the position of functional group or double bond or triple bond present in it. Then functional group isomerism, that they have same molecular formula but different functional group. Alcohols and ethers are very good example for that. Metamerism. Metamerism differs in the number of alkyl group attached to a functional groups. So that is shown only by ethers, imides, ketones, etc. Then question number 33, state Hess's law and calculate the standard enthalpy of formation from the following. You can calculate using enthalpy of formation of products minus enthalpy of formation of reactants. That's all.